Imagine standing in the heart of a dark, dense forest. The air is thick with fog, the ground damp with fallen leaves, and every sound seems amplified. The rustle of branches, the snap of twigs underfoot, the faint whisper of wind. It is 9 AD, and 3 Roman legions march confidently through what they believe is conquered territory. The men are disciplined, trained, and armed with weapons forged in the heart of the empire. They are the pride of Rome, the unstoppable force that has dominated Europe for centuries. But in these shadows, something waits, silent, cunning, and deadly. The Roman soldiers have been moving cautiously, but arrogance runs through their ranks. They have conquered cities, crossed rivers, and crushed armies before. They have never faced an enemy like this. The tribes of Germania are not organized like Roman armies. They do not fight in open fields or follow the rigid formations that Rome knows how to crush. They hide in the trees, in the undergrowth, in the mists that cover the valleys. And their leader, Arminius, knows every secret of these forests. He knows the terrain better than anyone because he once served Rome, trained as one of their own. But now his loyalty has shifted. He is a Germanic chieftain, and he is planning the most devastating ambush in history. As the legions advance, they hear nothing. The forest is unnaturally quiet. Birds do not sing. Rivers whisper softly. It is a silence that chills the spine. The Romans march in long columns, their standards held high, shields gleaming, swords at the ready. They trust their training, their discipline, and the might of Rome itself. They do not see the hidden watchers perched in the treetops. They do not hear the soft chants and signals of the Germanic warriors waiting for the perfect moment. Then, the first attack comes. It is sudden, terrifying, and total. The Germans strike from every direction. Spears fly through the air with deadly accuracy. Archers release volleys of arrows from concealed positions. The ground itself seems to erupt with enemies as men fall on every side. The Romans attempt to form their defensive formations, but the forest is a maze. The paths are narrow, the terrain uneven. Shields clash, swords swing, but for every Roman soldier who strikes, 2 more enemies appear from the shadows. Chaos spreads, confusion reigns. What was once a disciplined, unstoppable army is now trapped, hunted, and disoriented. The battle rages for hours. The Romans fight valiantly, but they are surrounded. Communication is impossible. Officers shout orders that never reach their men. The sounds of battle, screams, the clash of metal, the cries of the wounded echo through the trees. Every attempt to regroup ends in more bloodshed. Rivers turn red with the fallen. The mist thickens, hiding friend from foe. Men stumble over roots and rocks, only to be struck down by unseen enemies. It is as if the forest itself has risen against them. Arminius moves among his warriors, directing attacks with precision. He knows when to strike and when to hold. He watches the Romans struggle, their lines breaking, their morale crumbling. Each Roman legion is cut down systematically. Soldiers who survive one attack are ambushed again in the next. The Germans fight with fury and discipline that comes from knowledge of the terrain and the desperation to defend their homeland. The Romans realize too late that they have walked into a trap from which there is no escape. By nightfall, the devastation is complete. 3 entire legions, nearly 20,000 men have been annihilated. Their standards are captured, their commanders killed, their formations shattered. Rome, the most powerful empire in the world, has suffered a defeat that will echo for centuries. News of this catastrophe spread slowly at first, then like wildfire through the Roman provinces. Panic grips the Senate. How could an empire so vast and invincible lose 3 of its finest legions in one bloody forest? The answer is simple, yet terrifying: cunning, terrain, and betrayal. Arminius, once a trusted ally of Rome, has orchestrated the perfect ambush. His knowledge of Roman tactics, combined with the environment and the loyalty of his warriors, has turned the mightiest military force of the era into slaughter. The survivors speak of rivers clogged with bodies, of hills littered with armor, of the screams of men echoing endlessly in the forest. They speak of how the Romans fought with courage, how they never surrendered willingly, how their discipline was unmatched even in death. But courage and discipline cannot overcome a trap perfectly set, and the Romans are crushed. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest is remembered not just for the scale of the destruction, but for its psychological impact. Rome would never fully recover from this loss in Germania. Legions were rebuilt, generals replaced, campaigns launched, but the shadow of this defeat lingered for decades. The Rhine River became the boundary that Rome would never permanently cross. Germania remained free, wild, and unconquered. And Arminius, the master of this ambush, became a legend among his people, a symbol of resistance against the mightiest empire the world had ever seen. This battle reshaped history. It halted Roman expansion into northern Europe. It ensured that the cultures of Germania developed independently, free from Roman domination. And it demonstrated in the most violent and undeniable way that knowledge, strategy, and environment can overcome even the mightiest of armies. The forest itself became a silent witness to a massacre so total that it became the stuff of legend, told by survivors, chronicled by historians, and remembered as one of the greatest military ambushes in human history. Today, when we walk through the Teutoburg Forest, we can almost hear the echoes of that ancient battle. The rustling of leaves, the soft wind, the shadows among the trees. They whisper the story of men who fought, died, and changed history forever. Rome lost 3 legions that day, an empire reeled, and one forest proved that even the mightiest warriors can be undone by cunning, terrain, and the will of a determined people. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest was not just a military engagement, it was a lesson, a reminder that power, no matter how great, can be undone when arrogance meets strategy, that loyalty, betrayal, and terrain can become weapons sharper than any sword, that courage alone is not enough to win a war, and that history, once written in blood and fire, shapes the destiny of nations for centuries to come. The survivors carried the horror with them for the rest of their lives. Rome rebuilt, but it would never again underestimate the forest, the warriors of Germania, or the genius of Arminius. Generals who followed studied every detail, every mistake, every misstep that had led to the annihilation of 3 legions. They learned that in war, knowledge can be more deadly than numbers, and strategy more lethal than brute strength. And so, 2,000 years later, the story of Teutoburg Forest remains one of the most dramatic, terrifying, and instructive battles in human history. A battle where thousands fell, empires trembled, and one man's cunning forever altered the map of Europe. A battle where the forest itself became a weapon. A battle that proves without doubt that history is written not only by the victorious, but by those brave enough to strike at the heart of power and live to tell the tale.